All right, welcome back, Lacrosse fans. Lachlan Williams here, joined by Hayley Sofarnos. We are bringing you the first game of the 2023 Lacrosse Victoria season. We've got Women's State League action here with Footscray versus Williamstown, the reigning premiers at their home club. Hayley, great to be back with you once again, and Lacrosse is back.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Lockie. It's exciting to get the season underway tonight, and I don't think it gets much better than a Friday night under lights at FLC. Hopefully this will be a great contest and a great way to start the season.
So you might just have to bear with us in terms of some of the audio. We've had a couple of issues this afternoon, but there's going to be some fantastic pictures at least brought to you, and we're going to do our best with some of the commentary coming your way. So it's going to be an interesting contest, this one, Hayley. The reigning premiers, they've lost a couple from that side last year in Theo Koss and Beck Lane. They've headed home, so headed home.
We hope it's not their home. We want them here.
Feels like the USS their home at the moment. They've headed over to the States.
Yeah.
So a couple out from that side. What do you make of this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a really exciting season. Obviously, State League women's comp has been revamped. We've now brought into a five-team comp, and I think it'll be really exciting to see the range of players, new and experienced, coming through all club teams, and I'm really excited to see how Willie shape up against another strong Footscray unit, despite plenty of fresh faces out there on both sides.
For sure. So teams have gone through their pre-game checks. Everything is ready to go, and we are set here at Angliss Reserve. Of course, this is a double header, so we'll be bringing you the women's game here, followed by the men's match in about an hour and a half. That is another Footscray Williamstown game, so two really quality matches to expect tonight, which should be fantastic. Don't go anywhere. So it looks like it's going to be Lauren Hunter and Emily Prentice in the middle to get us going. For the first centre draw of season 2023. We've lost some microphones today, so you might be able to hear some of the sledging happening in the back, but it's great to see the crowd starting to build up. It's people probably gone home, maybe had some dinner after work, and heading down here. So I'm sure the crowd will build throughout the night, Hayley.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's excited to get the season underway, and as I said, what a great way to kick it off on a Friday night. Should be an exciting game. And great centre possession from Sarah Smith for Footscray to get things underway.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Bulldogs that take the ball first, and straight away the Japanese import, Benny, and doesn't she like it too? How good's the celebration there from Benny? Well, just like we said, that they'd lost a couple, but they picked up Benny there at Footscray, and what a great start for her Footscray career.
Yeah, they definitely have, and Benny, I think, was introduced to the Victorian lacrosse scene in the box series not too long ago, and she was very exciting to watch, and she's really picked up where she left off at the end of that series with a great righty to lefty finish there.
Yeah, she had absolutely lit it up at that box series. I believe she was player of the final in a thrilling final against Western Australia. So she's certainly got some runs on the board early in Australia, and playing for Victoria in the Nationals in a couple of months' time as well. So talk about stars. Here's one now. Mim Suarez Jury straight away gets a shot off. Good save there from McGibbon.
Yeah, that's an unlucky attempt at goal there for Mim. Really went hard to cage there and clipped the pipe on the way through. And another great save from Paige. Willie really looked to capitalise on that rebound there, and unfortunately Urs couldn't convert.
Yeah, so nice confidence builder there for Paige McGibbon, a player that's really found her feet in this Footscray side over the years. Clears, and she's stepped right into this role as the go-to straight away. We've not been long into this match, and Benny with the clear. Ball's headed out. It's going to be Tara Gilmartin making her state league debut out there. Good to see another player coming through the ranks.
Yeah, it's exciting to see so many fresh faces and young kids really stepping up to the challenge of state league, particularly with the broadened competition this year. It'll be exciting to see how that younger cohort can really get that experience to get some really great players across either in their team or as opposition. So I'm excited to get to know some new faces and exciting for them to make a debut tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's probably across the board as well. Hayley, you mentioned that we've got the extra teams in the state league competition, so there'll be fresh faces all over the place, and great to welcome back those teams into the league.
Absolutely, and I think that's what sets Australian lacrosse apart and why we can be so competitive is our young players get the opportunity to play against the likes of Sarah Mollison and Sarah Smith, Australian players, and then you've got an opportunity like that for Erst to level the game up for Willie at 1-1. It's exciting to see how hard both teams are going, from the first draw. There really doesn't seem to be a lot of time getting the ball around. There's a real nice pace and intensity from both sides, and it's an exciting start to the game.
For sure, yeah. So Ursula Fiddle puts Willie on the board, score at 1 apiece now. And there have been a couple of changes in the off-season in terms of the rules, Hayley, so you're probably a better place than I am to explain some of those. We'll see how we go.
I don't know if I am, to be honest.
I believe that sort of the fan's just a little bit bigger.
The fan's gone, so it's now the 15 metre, which was our outside space, is now got the hash marks. I am a bit hazy on if that still means free position shots or how that's played, but there's definitely some big changes happening.
So Mim Suarez jury straight away. Saw her in action at the Stall Gifts the other day. Made the semi-final, which is quite impressive. So she's quite the athlete. Abby Yu puts her head over it on that occasion, picks up the ground ball and uses McGibbon. She's got the clearance now through Izzy Murphy. Carries down the line. But the ball has been turned over again. Williamstown in possession.
The pressure on the ride on both sides has been really impressive early, and I think Willie are really reaping those rewards by going hard and trying to get that turnover. They're getting some shots off, and as you said, Paige is really stepping up strong early. She's probably had a handful of saves already, but loving the tempo of this game.
Yeah, for sure. So that's at least 3 saves that I could count to Paige McGibbon, I think. So doing an important job only a few minutes into this contest to keep her side in it. Williamstown in possession now. Will they opt to slow things down or continue with the pace that we've seen so far? Looks like they're going to go again.
Look. Yeah, you could see Lauren really curling that crease looking for cutters, and Williamstown did a really great job of making sure there were cutters off that clump and stack, making it tough for Footscray's defence to cover everyone. And in the end, I think that might be Bea Cameron that popped up on the far side, and Lauren did a great job of finding her there.
So 2-1 lead to the visitors. You'll, as we often say when we bring you these streams, we are not the official timekeepers, and so don't follow exactly what the clock is to be the absolute truth. We get as close as we can, but occasionally get a minute or so out. And Prentice uses her height to advantage there, but the ball is headed the way of Williamstown now. A little bit of a sloppy pass upfield. Sarah Mollison puts her head over it, but who's going to come up with it? It's going the way of... I think there was 2 calls there. One official pointed the Willie way, one Footscray, but after some discussion, it's going the way of Footscray. Benny flicks it down. Feels like for the Bulldogs, they haven't really had a settled possession so far. Nearly the first look they had, Benny's put in the back of the net, so they'll just look to slow things down now, I think. Benny again, you can see the pressure that comes, but that just opens things up for Sarah Mollison and doesn't miss too many times when you get her a look like that.
Yeah, there was definitely way too much time and space there for Sarah off that off that screen from Benny, and she certainly didn't make a mistake putting that nice at a hip height to make it 2-2.
You can just see there the Willie defenders knew the threat that Benny proved immediately, and that just opened up that space for Sarah to capitalise on that occasion. 2 apiece now. So back underway. Whistle heads the way of Williamstown through Lauren Hunter. With space opened up there for Suarez Jury, way too much space, and just bounces that into the back of the net for her first of the game. I think there was just a little bit of confusion out there potentially for the Footscray defence.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there in D, but I must say it's really exciting to see the intensity of Mim, and I think that experience for her coming out of nationals and heading into her first senior Victorian team. There's really that next level of intensity by her, and she's really taking the game on. It's really exciting to watch, and she found a great space there to finish it and give Willie another lead.
And her prowess already being recognised by those overseas as well. I believe she's committed to, is it Loyola?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not exactly sure when she heads over, but she'll be following a really strong Victorian contingent that have played at Victoria over the years, Loyola over the years, including obviously Georgia, who's currently there. So yeah, exciting that Mim will follow that.
Yeah, for sure. And that women's lacrosse trail just continues to be blazed over in the States, which is fantastic to see by these young Victorians. So really just with all the play at the moment, opt to settle things down on this occasion. Plenty of support here for the Williamstown girls. They can smell some blood in the water, I think. A big hit there from Steph Kelly. Well done from Lauren Hunter to recover. Runs into numbers, settles it out. But yeah, I think they new season, they've come prepared, so it's good to see. Nice contest so far.
Absolutely, and they've got Michelle Davies as their head coach this year, which obviously she brings a lot of experience in her own right as a world champion and multi-Australian player. So it's exciting to see how the team will take shape under her guidance, and they're certainly off to a good start.
So Footscray just opting for the slow clear. Paige McGibbon finds Sarah Mollison, and then she's got Greta Murphy out the back, who's got another one out the back. She's got Steph Kelly all by herself. Just couldn't quite reel that one in. The pass not quite to her advantage, but they broke out the back with speed there, did Footscray. And Willie are away now if they want to. Steph Hallows carries behind, flicks it across. Fiddle just settling things down, so you can see the different styles of play immediately, but not afraid to put the foot down, and they go straight away, and there we go, B. Cameron.
Yeah, she really did a nice job of making her defender overcommit behind there. And again, Williamstown continuing to push on an unsettled Footscray defence. They're really making that Footscray team work, and they're capitalising on the opportunities. They're playing really fearless.
For sure. So with that 4-goal burst for Williamstown, it's going to be a timeout for Footscray, I believe. Head coach Megan Molson just hitting the pause button for a second. We might hit the pause button ourselves and just jump off mute for the next minute or so. And we are back, and the timeout has certainly worked for Footscray straight away through the middle. Sarah Smith feels like the first time we've called her and looks to make an immediate impact. Just carries behind. So the Bulldogs just look to settle possession now. Sarah Mollison wants Benny. And for a reason from everything that we've seen so far, all the way through, Benny goes all the way. Shot just missing on this occasion. Do Footscray have the back up? Just a little slow to get that one, but they did have the numbers back in the end.
Yeah, that first step of Benny's is really quite impressive. We saw her obviously in the box and in a really condensed space, but on the field you can see how much more space there is for her, and she's really just kind of taking advantage of that.
And bang, all the way from downtown, Sarah Mollison not afraid to let fly. She just scores a very important goal there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, she really capitalised on the time and space again. She was given time and space on the opposite side of the fan not too long ago, and she's given it again today. And as you said, Footscray would have wanted to come out of that timeout with a change in pace and try and break up the run that Willie were on, and they've done a good job of that.
Certainly. So back to a 1-goal ball game. Of course, lacrosse action starts tonight, but it continues tomorrow. We've got senior action throughout the state, which is quite exciting. Great to see it back, and then our juniors get underway from next weekend. So it's all happening over the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely, and with the one club strategy that LV have implemented, there's going to be a lot more lacrosse at individual venues, which I think is really exciting to bring the lacrosse community back together. I know that's one of my favourite, when we reminisce about the old days of lacrosse, being there all day from under 11 through to state league. I think bringing that back is going to be really awesome for the lacrosse family to get back together this year.
Couldn't agree more, Hayley. So off the restart, Steph Hallow just stripped of it, but Mim Suarez Jury just in and out, gets a ground ball. And they'll attack again. Feed inside, cut from Nellie Mollison, save there from Paige McGibbon. You can tell that confidence is just brimming at the moment and makes the quick clear. So Sarah Smith down to Benny, couldn't quite reel it in, finds it now. The chase comes, really well done there from the Willie defender, but she's got a player out in the bottom crease. Who is that down there? I think that might have been M. Prentice, but good save from Molly Dunham.
Molly on the doorstep there. Footscray done a great job of really finding the openings as they arose in that transition, and Em took her time. She threw a few fakes in and went low, but Molly did a great job of reading it.
And the heat comes there from the Bulldogs. There was a bell rung
out. Is that a 30-second and 2 minute? No?
I'm well off the clock here,
yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, 2 minutes. There we go. Maybe that's the new. Another pipe for Mim.
There's plenty of physicality out there at the moment. These sides have come out blazing in their first quarter of the season. And so has Mim Suarez Jury. She puts another one in the back of the net, and I think that's going to be the end of our first quarter. So we were well off the time there. But right on the buzzer, that's a 5-3 lead to Willie now, and plenty to like for the visitors, Hayley.
Absolutely. Like I said, Mim has really taken this game on, and she's certainly making a statement and making an impact on this game nice and early. And the whole Williamstown outfit is. They've really started with their foot on the pedal early, and they haven't let off. They've made it really hard work for Footscray, and it's going to be an exciting game.
We're just going to take a short break, and we'll be back with you very shortly for the second quarter. All right, welcome back, and we just caught the first 10 seconds of missed the first 10 seconds of this one, but it is a 5-3 lead to Williamstown.
Yep, and just a swipe there by Benny in transition, so that'll leave, as long as the rules haven't changed too much since last year, that'll leave Willie with a 2-minute man up now.
So underway now.
Oh, nice look. And really capitalised very quickly on that man-up opportunity. Lauren found a cutting Mim, and she makes no mistake, puts Willie up by 3.
An important goal there for Williamstown. They make the most of that power play advantage there. Six 6-3 now, the lead to Williamstown. So just important, I think, for the Bulldogs to try and get their hands on the ball. That's probably the difference at the moment. Just Williamstown having a fair bit of it down there, and I think Hayley.
Yeah, and I think, like you pointed out early, Footscray just haven't had that same settled, those settled moments in attack. Willie are doing a great job of disrupting that. And then obviously capitalising on the other end of the field too. So I think Footscray, when they can get their hands on the ball, will want to settle it, want to get the ball in everyone's stick, and see what they can make of it.
So the feed inside, just missing out on this occasion, but they get the back up. So no harm done, and they keep that advantage. And a little lack of awareness there from Footscray. They just found themselves out of position. Good collapsing defence there, but it's just left numbers open everywhere. They've done really well to collapse, but the numbers still pop up. Paige McGibbon ends up having to be called on once again. She wanted it to go quick downfield, but denied this time. She's got the heat coming now, and she's not going to find a free one because there wasn't one out there. We're all guarded. Just had to heave it away, hope for Steph Kelly, but Mim Suarez Jury, well, she's put it in the back of the net, but it's an empty net because Paige McGibbon has gone down behind the plate. Hopefully she's okay. So just on the clear there, I think she when she went to make the pass, just a little slip or potentially some contact, and she just fell. Can't quite see there, Hayley, what it might be. But
yeah, it looks like there was definitely some contact, but probably obviously not a call, so nothing that the umpires deemed necessary of a call, and Willie capitalised on the scramble on an open net.
So really making the most of that extra player advantage. Just, a little rattled Paige McGibbon at the moment. She's taking a couple of deep breaths to sort herself out, make sure she's good to go.
Yeah, I think Footscray particularly going to want to stem the flow now. Obviously still man down for maybe a minute left, and they'll really need to kind of fill space in the defensive end and limit what further damage Willie might do on the scoreboard.
So Paige bravely ready to continue on. And so will the game shortly. So we're going to go again. Lauren Hunter and Emily Prentice, that is, in the middle. And It's going to be Sarah Smith that comes up with the ground ball this time for Footscray. It's going to be it's a fascinating battle, that one, with when she wanted the quick restart there, did Sarah Smith, but she's going to have to come back. Yeah, fascinating battle here on Nim Suarez jury. It's sort of the experience in her prime, I think, Sarah, and having played for Australia last year, and Mim, the up-and-coming superstar. So
absolutely. They're both very quick too, so it's exciting to see that pace tearing out of through transition and out of the centre, and it'll be an exciting matchup to watch.
So the shot either tipped out or backed up by Footscray. They'll keep possession. Steph Kelly. And here's Benny straight into the action, having served her time off.
There certainly is a real lift in the intensity and physicality we're seeing in round one, and I think the umpires are adjusting to that too. You know, there is a few hits and there is a few clashes that are going uncalled, and I think, you know, particularly with so many players playing on the world stage and preparing for that level, it's great to see. You know, you want things to stay safe, but I think, you know, these fast, fit athletes, it's exciting to see them go toe-to-toe. Yeah,
I was going to say, Hayley, you've been there and done that now with, you know, having played on that world stage. It is important to reflect that, and, you know, when you get to that level, it's you know, then they're not going to take it easy on you, because that's how we play in Australia.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, and it is a big step up anyway, going from club to state and state to Australia. But I think, you know, the more that we can provide environments for our players to get that exposure and build, and, you know, if they aspire to be, you know, one day an Olympian, this is the sort of lacrosse we want to see, be it sixes, indoor, or you know, traditional field format. The fast-paced physicality is really exciting to watch.
A nice finish there. I think that's Steph Kelly. Her first game back for the Bulldogs, an important goal there for Footscray, just to keep Willie in check. Puts the lead back with 3, and yeah, her first game back from Rutgers. Welcome inclusion for the Bulldogs. Yeah,
good to see Steph back out there in the green and white. You know, it really does look like it's taking Footscray quite a bit of effort to get through this Willie defence, and Steph did a great job there, just getting one step on her opponent and putting it low on that non-stick side for a great shot off the pipe.
So Hunter and Prentice again in the middle look like the likely matchup for the night, I think. So probably the honours shared so far.
Yeah, it seems pretty even, and Footscray, you know, will need to continue to kind of get the small 1%ers, and this ground that centre draw is a great way to start, so they can regain a little bit more control back in this game.
Sure. Sarah Mollison, she finds Mahiri Damabandu at the back. Just a little fumble cost her the open look at the goal there. The heat comes, but good enough to get herself out of it. Off to Kelly. She's got the cutters coming there from Benny. Backed up by Mollison. So playing quite big out there at the moment. Footscray using all that space. Now trying to cut inside it. Steph Kelly just a little bit off on the passes, but I think once they can reel some of them in, they're going to prove quite dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely getting some solid looks, just not able to convert and really sharpen up that stick work. It is round one, so, you know, a lot of these players haven't played since, State League Grand Final was in June last year, so it's been quite a long time. But, you know, it will, I think, start to fall, or we'll expect it to start to fall for Footscray once they can get those connections going a bit more.
Certainly. So it's going to be Sarah Smith that goes all the way, gets a shot off on Dunham, but up to the challenge again, makes a save. And Willie come up with a ground ball, a big win there in the defensive end. The heat keeps coming down their end though, and I think that's Ebony Norman that's forced the turnover. Really well done there from Eb.
Yeah, great hustle from Ebony, and, you know, Mel Roberts, number 10 for Williamstown's a former Australian player, so, you know, that's really great for Eb to step up in that moment and help her team, you know, now convert with another Sarah Mollison goal to bring Footscray back within 2.
Yeah, just how many years have we seen that from Sarah Mollison on the low angle? Just if you were to pick people in the country, that men or women, to to give him a look like that, she'd be in the top handful, I would have thought. So, just buries that one again, and another important goal for Footscray, just keeping themselves in touch. It's exactly what they'll need. Just they don't need to try and reel it back fully right now, but just to keep touch, not let that deficit blow out too far, and that's what they've done.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a great job in this second quarter of stemming the flow that Williamstown had taken in this game, and have done a great job of, once they get the ball, is kind of taking a bit of heat out of the ball, getting it round, and taking a few more patient opportunities, and of course converting as well.
So a little mix up in the middle now. Just after I said we were set for Lauren versus Emily all night, Nellie Mollison's jumped in the middle for Williamstown, still up against Emily Prentice. It's Footscray that win it this time, straight to Benny. Is there a little hole for her to go inside there? Not quite, so she just gets a pass off that's knocked down. Good enough to pick up the ground ball and settle things down through Sarah Smith. And they're looking like the gears are starting to click a little bit more now for Footscray. Sarah Smith, big wind up, just misses wide. Backed up there from Norman, and now up to Benny. And things just looking a little bit more fluid out there, I think, for Footscray at the moment, Hayley.
Yeah, I think Footscray is starting to find their feet a little bit more. And as we talk about it, Benny converts again. There is a little bit more space. I think maybe they've just realised how Willie are doing a really nice job of applying pressure. But of course, if you apply pressure, there's going to be a few openings that you can capitalise on. And I think those last two shots have demonstrated that. And Benny's done a great job to capitalise again.
Sure, so back to one goal now. Williamstown still with the lead. So I'm just trying to see if that's... there's another mix-up in the middle now. Oh no, it's still Nellie Mollison, yeah. But once again, it's Footscray that come up with it through Sarah Smith off the wings. Kicks down through Ebony Norman. The Cutters, she's waiting for them to come. Nothing happens in the end, so she just decides to go herself. Can she get back to the goal line? Can't quite. It's Molly Dunham that cleans it up.
And that's really solid D there by Willie on the crease. It's easy for an attacker to get inside and the defence to overcommit, but that slide didn't come in too hard. They just really jammed Ebony up there and got forced to fumble and have now got a turnover and the ball back down their end.
Certainly, and it's much needed possession for Willie. It feels like it's been a while since it's been down this end, so they'll look to make the most of this possession. And she's already got a couple tonight, Mims Suarez Jury. Just opts to move it around now. Mollison feeds high. Big shot there. And McGibbon, she's brushed off any worries from before. Good save there. And straight to it, she's made her way out of the cage. It's good work there from Paige McGibbon, but she's nearly turned it over. Finds the ground ball again and hits the clear. That's really well done there from Paige McGibbon. Put herself under some pressure, but found it in the end. And now Footscray come away with it upfield. It's Benny, she's got Steph out the back, one-on-one with Dunham. Just push that across the face.
She was looking in the right space. I probably would have shot there too myself, but just just a little bit too wide. But I think Footscray will get the ball back.
I think there was a player out the back there, so...
But you're right, Paige did a great job to handle the pressure down there and obviously shook off the contest that she faced a bit earlier to still have that confidence to get out and break the transition open for Footscray, and they've done a good job to get the ball back down here.
Nearly an unnecessary one for her to leave the cage, but probably just a little bit of a flex. I'm still here, everyone. I'm not going anywhere, and reflected down the other end as well when Footscray have had the ball in their possession. So it's a stoppage in play while we track down the ball. Just a bit of a heads up while we've got everyone in this little break of play. I had someone asking me before about the live streaming. How can we get involved? Well, flick LV a DM or an email. I'm more than happy to provide advice and help to anyone that wants to get involved in this. It's a great way to bring lacrosse to communities, and if we could get more of it on a weekly basis, that's going to be a fantastic thing. So maybe a bit more work for you, Hayley, but what a shot there. Benny just flexing her muscles, putting the foot down.
Yeah, Footscray have really found another gear here in this second quarter, and have really broken down a really stingy Willie defence in that first quarter to find a way to just kind of capitalise, and as you said, Benny's flexing some muscle there and making some big shots count, and now we're back at 7-all.
So I'll quickly finish off that point. Yeah. So if anyone wants to get is interested in live streaming or wants to get involved at all, just flick over a DM or an email, and we can help facilitate that throughout the season.
And of course, the exposure is great when we have these video. We can get this footage out there. But anyone that has, a passion for social media or just wants another, lens on the game of lacrosse, I know puts me out of my comfort zone to commentate. But it is a great way to still see the game and get involved. And then, as you can try and translate that on the field, you get to observe a bit more as well. So it's going to be a swipe there on B Cameron, and Footscray are going to go up for 2 minutes.
So we saw Willie really capitalise on their power play before. What can Footscray do with it now? It feels like the momentum is all their way. It's a big job now for Williamstown to try and steady the ship.
Yeah, there's been a really big swing. Willie went man up when they were kind of had that momentum, and Footscray are now doing the same. So you think Footscray will really take the time to set up probably some set man up plays that they want to run through and make sure that they can capitalise on it. And they do. Sarah Mollison cuts right through there, and Footscray regain the lead, 8-7.
Yeah, so Sarah Mollison just said, I don't care that you're man down, I'm just going to run through you all anyway, and puts in what I believe would be her third of the night. So the leaders really standing up in this comeback for Footscray. They take the lead now. I believe that's probably the first time tonight. Maybe they led it 2-1, but certainly the first time they've led in quite some time if that's the case. Yeah, on the backs of the likes of Sarah Mollison, and I think Sarah Smith's really lifted in the midfield as well. Yeah,
I would agree. And I think, they really haven't haven't appeared to have got too frustrated with the scoreline. They appear to, things weren't working for them, but they were quite persistent and keen to just chip away. And that's paid off for them now. What were they, 4 goals down? So it's a 5-goal turnaround, in one quarter. Willie need to, I think, just have their man down now, but just have a think about how they can stem this a bit, and keep it tight and keep it competitive.
So that's good defensive pressure there, but just giving away the foul gives Footscray another possession. Benny and Sarah Mollison, well, they've linked up really well tonight, but this time it's Ebony Norman getting on the axe. She finds the back of the net, and Footscray, well, this is definitely their biggest lead of the night. They take it up to a 2-goal lead right now, closing stages of the second quarter.
Yeah, really good awareness there from Ebony. She obviously got, just one step on her defender around that corner, and as she turned, Sarah Mollison had her head up to find her, and it's a great finish. Again, non-stick side. Exciting to see these young kids. Ebony's captain of the under-18 Victorian team that head over to Perth next year. So along with the likes of Mim, we're seeing that next cohort of kids really coming through and making an impact on the game. It's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And those players have been given opportunities last year, and you look at someone like Ebony, for example, was trusted to play in the State League Grand Final last year and did a great job. And there's a couple of those other younger girls, so they can't be relying on the likes of Sarah Mollison for forever. They've got to take the job themselves at some point. And that late goal has given Footscray I'm well off on the clock here. They've given Footscray a 2-goal half-time lead, so 9-7 the Bulldogs leader at the moment. closing thoughts in the half before we take a quick break, Hayley?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a tale of two quarters. You know, Willie really kind of had control in that first, and Footscray have taken control in the second. So obviously a really tight game, and I'm sure Willie will want to regroup a little bit and see how they can turn the tides again in the third.
We can see Paige McGibbon heading off there. Great to see her still up and about and in the cage. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. 9-7 Footscray leader Lachlan Williams and Hayley Sofarnos here at Angliss Reserve for our first game of the 2023 season. 9-7 to the Bulldogs. We are back for the second half here, and straight out of the middle it was Willie pulling the trigger.
Unlucky call then too. You know, Willie had momentum there and Mim had found Nelly dead centre, but looks like she's going to get a free position here on the 15, which is a lot more space to what we're used to. And she really capitalises on, you know, that first quick step and pace that Mim has. She got some great separation there and draw Willie back within one. Great start to the third quarter.
Yeah, just what they needed. It felt like the momentum had, it done a complete 180 pretty much. So, yeah, it brings us back to within one here.
Yeah, I mean, lacrosse is a game of runs, I think. You know, it's like who can get a run, who can contain a run, and we're seeing this in the purest format, literally quarter by quarter. Willie, Footscray and Willie are now starting the third, how they would have really hoped to take some control back in the game.
So Hunter and Prentice back again in the middle. And it's Willie that win it forward this time. Who's going to come up with it on the ground though? There's bodies flying absolutely everywhere.
One of the things I think we really do need to get clarity on is the quick starts. You know, I think we're getting pulled back a lot, you know, which is obviously something Mim probably commented about there for their yellow card. But, you know, to get that continuity, the reason we have the quick starts is to get the game flowing. If we keep pulling our athletes back, it kind of defeats the purpose. So, obviously, Mim probably shouldn't have said what she said, but, yeah, Footscray now going to have a man-up opportunity for the next 2 minutes.
So it's just so much space in front of goal now, isn't there? That opens opportunities like this for Sarah Mollison and steadies the ship again for Footscray. They take the lead back out to 2, but there's it's going to see a lot more high scores, I think, Hayley. Yeah,
it's really interesting. That extra 4 metres, I wasn't sure how the bigger fan would play out, but you're really seeing it certainly appears to be in the favour of the shooter. The defence is stretched and the goalie's really kind of got more time and space of a player running straight at them. I'd love to know the conversion rates on the free position shots, but it is interesting to see and how that'll then adapt throughout the season and the strategy that will come around that, because you certainly defensively you don't want to put anyone on a hash anyway, but when it feels like there's this much more space, it's certainly got to be a bit stingier on D and not give up those opportunities.
Second guessing the timing of your pregnancy now, or?
I know, it's a bit like that. I would love the time and space, although I don't think I'd be letting any shots go from the 15. So okay. Grateful I don't have to deal with that.
So Benny pulls the trigger straight away again for Footscray. Just couldn't quite find that top corner this time. But yeah, she's going to be an exciting one to watch this year, I reckon. She, straight away having an impact. Obviously, quite an accomplished player herself. She played for Japan at the World Champs. Sarah Smith finds it back in the net there for Footscray. Nice assist there from Steph Kelly. Puts the lead out to 3 now. Yeah, but just finishing on Benny. Comes to our country with quite a international pedigree of her own, doesn't she? So
yeah, absolutely, and she's really put a stamp on the game, both on and off the ball. You know, if you see her moving and the intensity she brings, and the intention she obviously draws, even just to clear through before that sequence for Steph to curl the crease and find Sarah cutting through. It's the best part about sport. You look at the bigger picture and how everyone contributes to that, and Benny's certainly doing that all over the field.
Certainly. So Footscray just picking up where they left off in that second quarter, really dominated, and that domination starting to continue here. Mollison down to Kelly. Just a little shove there. going to come back to Steph Kelly, and we're right behind her from where we are, and you could nearly guarantee that, well, I was about to say that the goal would have been coming there, but just decides to do the team thing and make the pass off. So good option there, but she can't get it back. No, that's Ebony Norman this time. I think she's just saying, that's hit the back of the net, I'm pretty sure. Yes, you're right, Eb. So puts a lead out to 4 for Footscray, and I think a timeout charged Williamstown just to slow things down.
Yeah, Footscray have done a great job here. Blink and it's a 4-goal game. Obviously that man down, now they're second of the game for Willie. Footscray have done a great job of capitalising and really kind of extending that. And like we said, you know, they didn't really look settled in that first quarter, but they've really found themselves in this next stretch of 2 quarters and playing the more expected style of Footscray lacrosse, composed, finding the gaps, poking holes, and building on that scoreboard pressure.
And you can probably see, I think, the value of a coach like Megan Mollison at the head of Footscray, where obviously plenty of experience behind her than the Victorian coach last season. So, and State League reigning premier coach, where it could have been nearly easy to panic early in the game, but kept cool heads and just worked their way back into it, and in a really strong position now.
Absolutely, and that's where you rely on your preparation, and a team like Footscray have played together for quite a long time. Obviously there's an injection of younger players, but they're fun strings to be able to pull in the likes of Sarah Mollison, Steph Kelly, Sarah Smith, and then you can add in Benny as a new inclusion, and Ebony to kind of really see what you can do when the pressure's on. And I think everyone's kind of stepped up in those small moments to regain control for Footscray here. And we've got another change up in the draw now. Steph Kelly will come in against Nellie Mollison. So it'll be interesting to see how Willie can regain some control here. Let's get a first touch on the ball. Will be really important for them to try and get some more control back in this game. Unless it goes to overtime. That was a stray hit there by Sarah Smith that I think the umpires missed on Lauren.
I think she's standing there a little sheepishly at the moment,
yeah,
Sarah.
That was cheeky by Sarah, but she appears to have gotten away with it.
Yeah, just stood there and tried to camouflage into did her best there and then got away with it.
And a ball up is going to be an interesting decision, but here we are.
Just such a well-rounded game I think we've seen from Mimsire Jury tonight. I mean, a ball up is something that I think you see a lot of players flip a coin with who comes up, but you just see there that she was on it like a flash and gets the reward. He gets a shot on target. Good save there from McGibbon again. But yeah, got the athleticism and got the game to go with it.
Absolutely, that first step and then that continued pace out of it is really quite unmatched, and she's doing a great job of not only capitalising on that, but as we've said a few times tonight, really making an impact on the game, and it's really exciting to watch.
So it's Smith charging downhill at Angliss Reserve, slight slope down to the right of screen.
Yeah, just a little bit too much heat on that pass into Sarah Mollison there. Probably just got a little bit excited in transition. So, again, Willie will be looking to capitalise on their possession here and see how we can close the gap on the scoreboard.
It can happen when you head down this way. Like, you do build up a good head of steam, and I tell you what, it's not much fun running back up into defence, but it's going to be Molly Dunham in possession now. So they're just replicating sort of the Footscray clear at the moment, just settling things down their ends. Pulls the trigger now. Now, are we back at stall for Suarez Jury? Not quite, but just gliding downfield.
Certainly someone you want on your team to be able to break open those lines out of transition, and Mim does a great job of carrying the ball, and really now got it nice and deep with Urs in attack.
Well done there from Fiddle to get all the way through, but McGibbon just read it like a book. But Suarez Jury again just pops up out of nowhere to contest the ground ball. Didn't win it, but set it up well enough for Fiddle and gets it back herself now.
Yeah, she really appears to be everywhere and making an impact on ground balls, shots, defence, turnovers. I feel like we're talking about her a lot tonight.
Yes, for good reason, I think, though. So,
I was just about to say that. I thought that was great defence. I'm not sure it was a charge, but Footscray.
How about the attack there from Benny downfield? A nice tumble and gets up from it a little bit gingerly, but looks okay. So ball will come back the way of Williamstown through Lauren Hunter. So now's the time, I think, that Williamstown will look to those more experienced players to try and lead. I think, the likes of Hunter, there you go, makes a pass inside. Denied on this occasion, but defence collapsed well from Footscray there. But yeah, looking to the likes of Lauren. I think Nellie Molson's been a little quiet tonight as well, so...
Yeah, Nellie has been a little bit quiet tonight. I think if Willie can get into more of a cutting game and really look to find Nellie on the inside, that could open that up just to add another dimension to what they maybe haven't been able to get breakthrough on so far. But Footscray doing a really great job of crashing and crashing quite cleanly to get these stops right in front of cage. And
there we go, on cue, Nellie Molson. It's like you've done this before or something, Hayley.
Right on cue, Nellie, finds some time and space, and her teammate does a great job of getting the ball to her. She can sometimes shoot high to high on those, and she's adjusted. Paige has seen a few of them tonight, and going low, she's been able to capitalise in that moment.
Yeah, so needed that one. Not desperately, but it was a much needed one for Williamstown just to keep Footscray in check. You saw the Bulldogs do it earlier. They just chipped away, and that's what they need to do now. There's still plenty of time left in this game, so just like Footscray before, they don't need to be panicking right now, but they don't really want that lead extending. They want to try and keep it where it is or chip away slowly. Prentice and Mollison again in the middle to the advantage of Benny, but it falls back the way of Nellie Mollison. Just we've played her into form, I think, here. Hayley, she must have heard us. Looks across to Suarez Jury all the way through, gets a shot off but through sticks.
Yeah, again, another good crash in defence there by Footscray. They're just taking up space at that last second, at the very least, to get a deflection. And Willie have got it back in this opportunity, so hopefully they'll be looking to see how they can capitalise again.
So the double team came there from Mollison. They've recovered well, however, have Footscray. Little flick behind. Suarez and Fiddle wanted to play together, but yep, they find the pass now. Feed inside to Mollison. Well read there from Steph Cully. Got a great piece on it and hit Paige McGibbon. So it's Footscray in possession through Sarah Smith. Looks cross field. Izzy Murphy now. And she got help out the back. Certainly does in Steph Cully. Bounce sat nicely for her. And not much ahead of the play for Steph. So she's just going to carry this behind and wait for the reinforcements to arrive ahead of her. So Kelly back in Australia after a few years overseas in the States, St Mary's and then into Rutgers. St Joe's, sorry. So carry there from Greta Murphy. Feeds up high to Benny. See this real two-player game between Sarah and Benny. That's going to be a dangerous combo this year, I think.
Yeah, I think they linked up at the box tournament we spoke about earlier, and they're looking to carry that through this season, and Benny capitalises again to extend Footscray's lead.
Yeah, so she's got a few to her name tonight, making quite the statement on her Victorian lacrosse debut, or field lacrosse debut, that's for sure. Yeah, going to certainly pack a punch at the Nationals later this year. It's one that those interstate teams would have seen a bit of her at the box, and they'll have to take note of her, something a little bit different that they wouldn't have seen her before. So exciting player. And here we go, back in the middle once again. Prentice comes up with it over to Smith. Now down to Benny. Breaks ankles all the way through. Good shot to, well saved there, sorry, from Molly Dunham. And just slapped out the back, and it's Suarez Jury that comes up with it. Gets past one. Looks to get past another. She's met her match, however, in Sarah Smith, so has to kick it across. Feet inside, just missing. Can Nellie Mollison reel it in? Paige McGibbon tried to make an impact and did just enough. Izzy Murphy now in possession. She can use her goalkeeper and does so in the end. A nice check there to take it away from Steph Kelly. So it's a bit up and down at the moment. And with about 30 seconds left in the quarter, will he get one back? And it's back to a 3-goal ball game. We're just shy of three-quarter time here.
Yeah, it's certainly been, feels like it's been a bit tougher for Willie to get going again in these second and third quarters. They've obviously brought the contest back within 3 goals, but Footscray doing a great job of making them really work for every opportunity, and we even saw in that transition, they went up and back a few times, finally got the turnover, and Bea did a great job of capitalising with, under 30 seconds to go in the third.
So is there time for one more for either side? This would certainly change the complexion of the game if it would be 1 to Williamstown now. So they've got to pull the trigger if they're going to have any impact. Just a little fumble there might have cost them. Going to have to go pretty quick, and I think that might just be that. It certainly will be. That's going to be 3-quarter time here. We'll just confirm the score over with our scorers. We are pretty confident it's 13-10. So we'll take a short break. We'll be back with you very shortly for the final term here. And then not long after that, we're going to be bringing you men's action, Williamstown v Footscray. Grand final rematch. Don't go anywhere. We are back for the final quarter here, Footscray v Williamstown. It's the Bulldogs that lead it by 3, but Williamstown, they found some form late in that third quarter, carrying it forward right now. So Fiddle, an early goal would certainly put a cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, and I think it'll just help Willie's confidence. They've done such a great job all game to, take risks and find the openings.
And there we go.
And they're going to do exactly that. And it's really important for them to get that first blood in this final quarter. It's a 2-goal game. They're going downhill, which I know would certainly be my preference in a final quarter. It's exciting, and Steph did a great job to get one on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, that's the perfect start really for Williamstown. If you could have asked what you would want in the first 30 seconds of the final term, that would have been it. So down to 2 goals now. Just get the feeling that we're in for quite the finish here. First game of the season, and it has not disappointed, that is for sure. So Kelly and Mollison go at it. Little loose stick in there from Mim Suarez, I think it was. No, it's heading the way. Which way is it going? Yeah, it's going the way of Footscray. So Steph Kelly just weaves her way through the traffic all the way to the goal line. And just a couple of times she's missed that shot there, Steph Kelly. Fantastic run there. Just maybe trying to flex some muscles. Well, Mim, we've seen you do that a couple of times. I'm the set campaigner here. Let me show you how it's done. But just couldn't quite find the back of the net. But Footscray will keep possession. Mollison just burning her way through. Finds the pass on the outside. Little fumble there from Benny, but call coming. A really dangerous chance now for Benny. It's shown she's not afraid to let them fly, so we'll wait and see if she winds up on this occasion. Works her way all the way down, gets a shot off, and great save there from Molly Dunham. She's really lifted to get Willie back in the game, I think, Hayley. Yeah,
clutch save there by Molly. I think, that's one of those turning points in a game. If that goes in, it's back out to 3, but Molly making that save give Willie the chance to bring it back within 1. Which I'm sure they'll be keen to do.
So, hard ground ball get out the wing for Williamstown. They'll bring it forward through Fiddle. The pressure comes from Kelly. Just keeps going, Ursula Fiddle. Still in possession. Moves the ball on now. The cut has come, but not looked at, and in the end it's McGibbon that makes a save.
Nice move by Nikki Bukavich there on that bottom crease, but yeah, Paige was up to the challenge of that doorstop shot, and Footscray regained possession.
So I think Footscray probably won't be in any rush to clear the ball. Now they've got the lead. There's no need to play anything too risky on the clears.
Yeah, this is where the final quarter becomes really quite strategic. 2-goal buffer is not a lot. Footscray won't want to take too many risks and give Willie the ball back, and Willie won't want to take too many risks in defence to open up some opportunities. But you've also got to take some risks to get some opportunities. So it's always a fun battle of chess in games like this when it's nice and tight. Curious to see what the coaches try to do through their players, as well as what the players can then execute in those moments.
Yeah, so we just saw plenty of patience there from Footscray, but the pass maybe not quite there in the end. So they've given Williamstown another look in possession. Important, very important possession this. Still patient build up from Williamstown. They'll not quite pulling the trigger.
Footscray were very lucky there. Nellie Mollison had curled the crease and I think was hanging out there solo for a good few seconds. But B has drawn the foul and will have a free position shot.
So it works her way all the way down, but nice check and collected from Steph Kelly, but she's also stripped there, so it's neither side able to keep the ball for any extended period right now. Ball just swinging across the top for Williamstown. Patient build up. Pass skipped low. Roll inside from Fiddle, gets it off, but once again McGibbon up to the task. Checks her surroundings and just takes a step out. Now they go quickly through Kelly, so she puts her foot down, and is where the uphill battle is on, quite literally.
I was just about to say, it's the moment you definitely don't want a card in a game, and Willie have now got a card, although I'm not sure, doesn't appear to be on the player. I'm assuming it might be a sideline discussion from the sidelines. So unsure if that's a warning or if that's going to be a card.
So officials taking some time to confer and make sure we're all on the same page before we get going. Regardless, it's going to be Steph Kelly in possession in a defensive half. So Kelly, that's a great clear, straight past Mollison, straight all the way down. Nearly could have pulled the trigger, but just settles. Mollison skips all the way down. Can't quite see, there might have been Prentice down there.
1, 2, are we man? Are they man down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So Hayley's just got her fingers and toes out, counting how many we've got out there at the moment.
I'm just trying to figure out what came of the discussion with the umpires and whether there was any. It appeared to be in line with a potential foul, but again, wasn't sure where that led. So. Reminder that in about 10 minutes' time, we're bringing you the first men's state league game of the year, Williamstown v Footscray grand final rematch. Footscray, remember, won the premiership down here on their home turf September last year. Great interception there. Fantastic intercept there by Lauren.
And I think Leanne's been sucked in there. I think that's a little lucky call there, and might just get one back the other way here, Footscray. So good defence there from Missy Murphy, and big round of applause in front of her home fans.
Yeah, that was an interesting sequence of events just there. Wasn't necessarily sure with how the call went, and then immediately back the other way.
So Benny, foot down, kicks across to Sarah Mollison, but whistle from Leanne McGibbon will stop play. Mollison feeds, great cut there from Ebony Norman, and great finish there. Really much needed goal for Footscray. Just gives themselves a bit of breathing room with a few minutes left in this one.
Yeah, another clean execution there by Eb. We saw almost a carbon copy of this a little earlier. She curled the crease and Sarah Mollison found her, and she's done it again and put away a great shot, non-stick side on Molly.
So it's now for Willie, what we believe is around the 5-minute mark, where you've probably got to play with a little bit more ambition and a bit more dare.
Yeah, I think I touched on before about that balance of not taking too many risks. You certainly don't want to overplay and let Footscray walk into any opportunities, but Williamstown have certainly got to take some chances now to break down this scoreboard a little more, and Mim tried to do exactly that.
So yeah, tried to do it all herself there and did everything but score the goal, but a big turnover there from Paige McGibbon, left the net empty, and Williamstown bring it back within 2. Just an error on the clear. A gimme, really.
Yeah, and great presence of mind by, Steph Hallows to take that outside shot. It's that balance of do you run in and see what else might come of it. But as we said, we haven't got too much time left. So, Willie now bring it back within 2. And as you said, I think we're around the 5-minute mark.
So I had the pleasure of watching, and I filmed the under-18 girls grand final last year, where in the blink of an eye, Footscray were cruising, and Mim Suarez just took the... I've not seen one player take the game by the scruff of the neck like that before. I think she scored 7 of the last 8 goals or something like that. So a big-time player. She tried to do it just before. Will we see her try and do it again? Well, they're going to need the ball to do that. Footscray, importantly, take the possession. But with about under 5 minutes left, we'll wait and see.
Absolutely, and she's certainly the player to do it. You always want it to be a team effort, but it certainly helps to have someone in your toolkit like Mim that you can, just let kind of go to town, and hopefully she can, Willie can get a turnover here and see what we can do in the last few minutes of this exciting contest.
Good awareness there from Tara Smith, just to hold fire on pulling the trigger, and now she gets the opportunity, gets all the way through the crease, but Dunham up to the task once again. She's stood up big time, especially in this second half. The ball will stay with Footscray though, and Benny gets through now. She get the shot off, misses wide, so Dunham potentially putting that implied pressure on now, so doing a great job between the pipes, but it will stay with Footscray, I believe.
And Footscray is sending quite a strong message here by going hard to the cage. It is a close game. They've turned the ball over now, but so we'll see what comes of Mim having possession from this back corner. Can she maybe go coast to coast, or what can Willie do now?
So she gets past the first. A second comes and a third, but burns away past them. But those 4 so wide, so she's going to kick it below. Cutters come, but still the patient build up from Willie. Once again, that collapsing defense from Footscray just holding them up. Feed comes across, big contact there on Nellie Mollison. So from what we believe, probably around 2.5 minutes remaining. 2-goal lead to Footscray right now. So here we go. Could this be the game on the balance right now? Nellie Mollison, she'll get a one-on-one chance with Paige McGibbon. She'll have to really try and find the back of the net here to give Willie any chance. Gets the shot off. Great save. I think Paige just got a boot to that one to keep it out. Willie get the second chance now. The shot off, and McGibbon, well, she stood up big time. She's making up for that little error before.
Yeah, 2 really big saves there by Molly.
Paige.
Paige.
They've both done a great job, to be fair, in the cage.
Good night to be a goalie. They've really been impressive at both ends of the field.
Particularly where it potentially could have been a little intimidating with the new setup, but they both handled it quite well, I think, especially probably in the second half. the scoring sort of slowed a little. So
Absolutely.
And defences have adjusted, I think.
And particularly, clutch save in that moment by Paige. That's easily a 1-goal game, and it turns the tide. Whereas Footscray have now got the ball back in what we think is about a minute to go. So Willie are going to have to make some moves now to force a turnover and try and get possession back.
Yeah, so you can see Footscray just happy to kill the clock. The double team does come, but Sarah Smith just puts on the afterburners and gets past them all. Does she go all the way? Probably didn't need to do that. She's given possession back to Williamstown now, and Molly Dunham takes the ball. They got to go quickly, Williamstown though. Do they just send the Hail Mary upfield? She certainly does, but there's just a wall of green waiting for her, and it's Steph Kelly that comes up with it. And I think that's probably going to be the ball game there. Steph Kelly sends it over to Abby Yu, down to Sarah Mollison, and she'll just settle things down, run out the clock, and I believe that will be the game. Steph Kelly. Sends it down through Ebony Norman. Puts the afterburners on, gets all the way to the crease. Does she get the shot off? She certainly does. Right on there to Ebony Norman. She's got a couple to her name tonight. And a 3-goal lead to Footscray. We haven't heard 30-second bell yet, but it'd be pretty close, I would have thought.
I would think so, and as we touched on, the impact that the goalies have, big save by Paige in those closing moments before. Could have made it a 1-goal game, but has extended it, given Footscray possession back, and now it's back out to 3.
So yeah, it's one that I always find intriguing in those situations where you've got to kill the clock, and there's always the player that goes, oh, I've got all this space, I'm going to get the shot off, and gives the ball back. So nearly another look for Willie with the great save from Molly Dunham, but they set up defensively well the other end and take the lead out to 3, and that will be what we believe should be a win. Well, we didn't hear the 30-second clock. Was that the 30 or was that the final bell? And great save there from Paige McGibbon, regardless if we're still playing or not. And that is that. We didn't hear the first bell, but it must not have sounded. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for how close I got on that occasion to the clock. So, Hayley, thank you very much for joining us. We're pretty much dead on our men about to get out there, so we might wrap this one up pretty quickly. A 3-goal win to Footscray to get us started. Yeah,
great way to start the 2023 season, and it's certainly sure to be a exciting year ahead.
Fantastic. Well, thank you to everyone that's tuned in. We'll be live in probably about 30 seconds or so, because the State League men aren't far away. Until then, my name is Lachlan Williams, Hayley Sofarnos joining me. Footscray take out the first game here, 15-12, in front of their home fans at Angliss Reserve.